Now, you gotta say that one again, just in case for the people who missed out.
Okay, tell me when.
Right now, you can go.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just saying this is Marlene Green. I just want to recommend to everyone that if Davon does this tour again of the IHD Design Center, it's definitely well worth it because not only did we have a nice little informal mastermind session the evening before, but going to the design center, you get to hear from all the staff, you get a great overview of all the different brands, and most importantly, you understand the strategy behind the different brands under the IHD brand. And it's just really informative hearing from the design team and how they think about the different customer avatars that we have. So it was really, really worth the trip to go there. Highly recommend it.
Well, thank you so much, Marlene.
Thank
I
you. Thank
appreciate that.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So we're going to get this party started. We're going to talk about international hotels. Okay. And let's see. All right. Okay. So just introduction. I'll talk about my story, what makes a hotel successful, mindset shift, and we'll leave some time for Q&A and stay to the end because we got a special treat. So thank you for that, Marlene, because we're going to be talking about a trip as well at the end. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Davon Reed. Some folks call me the Hotel Queen. Some folks call me the Hotel Diva. And the reason why, because I love Beyonce. So when I walk on stage, I play the Diva song. So that's why they call me Hotel Diva. And just a little background about myself, again, for those who don't know me, I've been in the industry for over 15 years. I started off as a front desk agent, and I navigated my way from the front desk to hotel ownership. And so I have experience in feasibility studies, development, asset management. So a lot of those relationships, Marlene talked about with Julianne Smith. She's the chief development officer for IHG. And so I've been knowing her for years while she was at her previous employer at Hyatt. So again, just building those relationships throughout my career. Published author of 3 books, including How to Buy a Hotel, $1 billion in assets, and 30 million in my portfolio. I've been featured in just about everything except for Essence. I've been selected as one of the top, hotel professionals under 40, Black professionals under 40, most recently social media influencer in the hospitality industry, top 10. And I won the emerging leader for the International Society Hospitality Consultant Award. And so just to let you know, you're in great hands when it comes to hotels. So I always do, actually, before I answer this question, before I even ask this question, I'm gonna go back. How many people, this is their first time on one of my webinars? Say, let me know in the chat. Okay, first, well, welcome, 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 welcome. All right, we're gonna have some fun tonight. Okay, and so for the people that's not their first time, put in the chat, put fam, so I can say hello to you. This is not your first time with me. What's up, Bruce? Oh, you definitely fam. Hey, fam. We got Shay. Hey, Shay. Yes, Alicia. Hey, bro. Hey, what's up? What up, though? Yes, 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 yes. So welcome, 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 everyone. We are going to have a good time. Hey, B, welcome. I appreciate you so much for tuning in. Hey, I appreciate you all so much for tuning in, and we're going to have a good time talking about hotel ownership. Even for the folks that have been on several of my webinars, I hope that you will learn something new. I always try to make something different. And I hope you noticed that I was trying to do the island vibe with the music tonight, because we're talking about international hotels. All right. So there are 59,000 hotels. I always give out a prize. So there are 59,000 hotels. The first one that gets this right gets a digital copy of my book. And a digital copy of the international workbook. So there are 59,000 hotels. What's the percentage of the hotels in the US that's Black owned? Let's see who gets it right. Sarah Simpson, less than 2%. She got it right. Sorry, Chris, it's not 5. So Sarah gets it right. Sarah, do you have the do you have the international workbook?
No, I don't.
Okay, so send me an email. I'll send you a note right now, and someone from my team will get you a copy. There you go. All right. And so, yep, Sarah was correct. It's less than 2% of the hotels in the United States are owned by Blacks. I would do the world, but I don't really know that all those facts get. It's probably the same thing. It's probably less than 2%. It's probably probably less than 2%. Probably with the bed and breakfasts and the international hotels. Yes, I would say it's probably about the same. Okay. All right. So this is my childhood story. So this is me as a baby. This is when I was in Philly. Did not know I was gonna be a hotel owner. It actually looked like my baby now. Drinking my favorite still thing, apple juice. And at that moment, did not know I was gonna be a hotel owner. So I moved. I lived in Philly. Then I moved to Georgia with my mom. I had no choice, pretty much. And then from then I went to Georgia State University. And at Georgia State, well, I graduated from Jonesboro, went to Georgia State. While I was at Georgia State, I became a front desk agent. And that's literally where my career began in the hospitality industry, working as a front desk agent at the Georgia State University in Atlanta, Georgia. And that's me as an analyst. That's actually while I was at NABHOOD. I was at a NABHOOD conference, goodness, that's probably like 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I was at NABHOOD, and for those who don't know what it is, it stands for the National Association of Black Hotel Owners, Operators, and Developers. I definitely recommend for you to look into it. They also have an international component as well, because the founders from the Bahamas. So this is my story now. That's my little one. I probably need to get an updated picture, so I probably need to go back and take him with me so we get an updated picture, because he's 3. That picture is from our opening. Excuse me, not the opening. It was the investor retreat. I had an investor retreat for the investors who invested, so that way they can see the property. And so that is my story now. Took a non-paid internship. Actually, this picture right here is when I took the non-paid internship, and they kept me on full-time right here. And that's where I learned about the business, built those relationships, understand the ownership side. So basically taking in what I learned and sharing it all with you throughout my journey of becoming a hotel owner. So I would say the best thing that has helped me from transitioning from operations to corporate and taking that non-paid internship was, 1, getting my foot in the door. And then 2, it allowed me to create a lot of relationships. Just like any other business, hospitality is definitely a relationship driven business. So a lot of things and a lot of deals that I was able to get done was just through relationships. All right, so this is the first property that I acquired with my business partner, Mike Ely. We acquired the home 2 Suites in El Reno, Oklahoma. We spent $8.3 million. That was the first property I acquired as an entrepreneur, because throughout my career working for companies, we acquired for other owners. And so it's 85 rooms. This is an extended stay property. It's a part of the Hilton brand. Then this is the 145 room Staybridge Suites in Indianapolis Fishers area. And this is the largest in my portfolio. And then the Hampton Inn Suites in Scottsburg, Indiana. So we actually bought these 2 hotels combined, and we spent about $17.8 million on these 2 properties. And we bought them as a collateralized deal, meaning it's 2 hotels on one particular, so it's in the portfolio. So we bought the hotel in the portfolio. All right, so tonight we're gonna bust some myths. You personally have to have millions of dollars. You personally have to be a millionaire, or you personally have to have prior hotel ownership or hotel experience. That is not necessarily the case. So definitely want to get into that, having that hotel mindset. For one, you already starting to have it, even if you're just curious. And there's some folks, as you can see, that's been on several of my webinars. They already have the hotel mindset. Now they're just education mode, getting prepared mode. I know a lot of folks on their call, they are literally doing the work, you know, getting their personal stuff together, finding hotels, analyzing deals. They are doing the work because I see it. They're asking questions, and they'll be having a hotel, I'm sure, of their own within 2 years, probably even less than that, some of the folks on the call. So before we go through this webinar, I want you to picture yourself checking into your hotel, right? You have to get that mindset. So what does it look like when you are checking into your hotel, your own hotel? I know when I experienced checking into my first hotel, it was definitely an out-of-body experience. Walking into the lobby, I had my Beyonce playing because that was my goal. I knew that's what I was going to do. I said, when I get my hotel, I'm walking to the lobby playing Beyonce, and that's exactly what I did. So how will it feel when you check yourself in, or your front desk agent check yourself in into your hotel? So we're going to just think that, put that in your mind, put that in your process, just put it in your spirit, because I believe in speaking things into existence and putting it out there in the atmosphere so that way it can happen. All right, so what makes a hotel successful? So we have the location, the brand, and the operator. So the location is extremely important, right? So if you want to do an international hotel, do you want to have a hotel next to the beach or the water, or do you want to have it in town? So that's what you want. Or do you want to do an international property, you know, at all? Let me know in the chat. How many people want to do an international property, or invest internationally, or do something internationally? Okay. International. Okay. Cool. So pretty much everybody. I just wanted to ask. I know some people just on here being curious, which I love it. I'll take it. All right. So the biggest thing is, right, is would you do so, and then where do you want to put the hotel? When people travel, they're traveling for a reason, especially internationally. It could be visiting family, it could be beach, it could be work, it could be both. So the location is extremely important. So if somebody who wants to, they have kids, you know, does somebody want to stay on the beach? Does somebody want to stay in town? They want the wellness, like, so all that plays in, and because hotels is real estate, right? So hotel real estate. So location is the most important thing. Then we have the brands. There's like over 100 different brands. For the folks who purchase the workbook, there's a link with all the different brands. Like I said, there's over 100 brands. I mean, that's a whole nother session in itself, going over all the brands and understanding them. So would anybody be interested in that if I did a session on all the brands, because they can actually get confusing? But Choice Hotels, Hilton, IHG, Wyndham, Best Western. The reason why I picked these hotels because they're the programs that really have diversity programs, and it's easier to get into as a first-time hotel owner. So Choice has their emerging markets. They also have their hotels program. So for women and veterans to get into the hotel space, so they give incentives and different programs, you know, so you can get to the closing table. Hilton, they just launched a program where they help from the capital aspect. I think it's like Forging a Gap or something like that. And so they have brands such as, you know, Home2, Hampton Inn. Those are good product. True, Spark. They just introduced Spark, which is like an economy brand. So that's a great product. As far as a conversion brand. So that's more of on the economy side. IHG, as Marlene was just talking about, we visited them yesterday. So they have a new program called Lift, where they want to encourage more people from diverse backgrounds to get into the hotel ownership space. So women, Black people, you know, Hispanics. And so brands to start off with them will be Holiday Inn Express, Candlewood, Staybridge. You know, like I said, Marlene, that was a being like looking at that showroom, gave it introduction of the brands from the ownership side, as well as some folks was like, hey, I want to save these brands. Wyndham would be, they have the Days Inn, they have Super 8, those type of products. Wyndham, they have the Bold program and the Women Own a Room program. So they have different programs and incentives to get folks into hotel ownership. Best Western, think of the other hotels as banks, and Best Western is more of a credit union. So they have their Best Western and short stay. Again, those are good products for folks who want to get into the space. Now, I didn't mention my disclaimers. I normally do. I am not a financial advisor and I'm not a lawyer. So I always recommend before you jump in anything is get professional, seek professional guidance, because hotels are very capital intensive. So you definitely want to make sure that you're going the right way. Operator, who's going to be managing and operating the day-to-day operations of your hotel, right? And so if I ask anybody on this call, you could remember when you had a bad experience at a hotel. And then you can remember when you had a great experience at a hotel. That is an operator issue, right? So the goal as a hotel owner is to provide the greatest experience ever to the guests. And the reason why, because you want them to come back. And not only do you want them to come back, but you also want them to refer your hotel to other people, right? You can go to TripAdvisor, but nothing is like word of mouth and letting folks know, hey, when you go, to Belize, or, when you go to Turks and Caicos, or wherever you go, you want to stay at a particular hotel because we just had the best stay and the best food, right? Or it's like, girl, don't go to that hotel. Like, it costs too much. Oh, she said Costa Rica. I have been to Costa Rica. It costs too much. Like, the food not good, So that's just things that you want to think about, when it comes to operating. Okay. All right. So there's 4 pathways to hotel ownership. So do you have passive and active? All right. Does everybody know what passive or active investing means? Okay. Yes, yes. Any knows? Because I'd be happy to go over it. Okay, everybody's yes. Okay, so everybody know the difference. All right. So, and if you don't, let me know, because it's okay if you don't. Okay, I'll go over it. It's okay. This is what we're here for. This is a safe space, okay? All right. So the difference between active and passive investing is when, someone like myself putting a deal together, raising capital, talking to the investors, talking to the brands, talking to the lenders, like doing all that's active investor. A passive investor is like, ooh, Devon, that's just too much. Like, I want to do all that. I just want to invest and get my returns. And that's okay. And so that's what a passive investor would be. A passive investor is someone who's like, you know what? I'm not trying to really do, all this work. It's just too much. And there's my little Jameer. He wanted to say hello. There we go. You can't have a webinar without Jameer jumping on. All right. So now we have the difference between active and passive investing. All right. So then crowdfunding is a form of passive investing. You can invest passively, invest in deals. So you're investing, depending on how it's set up, you're investing directly into the asset. And then you have, and crowdfunding is basically a marketplace of hotels where you can invest, right? So you go to Vestor, Realty Mogul. The minimum investment can range from 5,000 or more, or even 500. It just depends on some sites. REITs, which stands for Real Estate Investment Trust, is another passive way to invest. It's probably the most economical way to invest. And it's basically like buying into a stock. They have some shares that are like $7. Now you won't be getting rich overnight investing $7. So I don't want you to invest tonight in the REIT and you like, Devon, I didn't intern into Sheila Johnson the next day. What's wrong with you? So I'm just putting that out there, okay? So investing in REITs, like I said, it's investing in stock and it's based off the share, okay? And so we'll go over it in a few, but the different ways and how you can determine which is the best REIT for you. Again, if you don't know, work with a financial advisor. Private investing is another passive route. So you're investing directly into the asset, working directly with the sponsor. Then you have hotel syndication. That's more of the active investing route where you're putting the deal together. Sometimes sponsors, they actually use crowdfunding to raise capital for their particular deals. So that's just like the different pathways. And REITs, I probably should add REITs and stocks to kind of lump them together, because that's still a passive way. And like, you know, Hyatt has a stock, Marriott has a stock option, Hilton has a stock option. So those are, and for the folks who work for the brands, you know, you can invest at a discount in those particular stocks. All right, but again, work with a financial advisor, okay? So creating your investment thesis or investment criteria. Just about every savvy investor, REIT, fund, whatever you have, they pretty much all have an investment criteria. They may call it different things, okay? So basically, it's your roadmap and what you like to invest in, okay? So just like buying a house, when you talk to a real estate agent or broker, they're gonna like, well, where do you want to live? And what's your budget? Same thing for a hotel. I get the question, I'm like, well, Dave, how much will a hotel cost? Okay, whoa, that's pretty loaded. Where do you want to buy? What kind of hotel? So all of those different factors plays into it, okay? So basic, high level, and criteria. What kind of hotel do you want to buy or develop? When do you plan to invest? Where do you plan to invest? Why are you investing? And how are you going to do it? Right. And another thing is, what's your budget? Because the type of hotel that you're looking for is based off of how much you can afford. If you only have access to $1 million, then your budget is probably 5 million, right? Because you typically need to put 20 to 30% down on a hotel. If you're developing, it is probably like 50%. For the international deals, depending on each country is different. So some countries, they offer financing, some countries they don't. So you have to come in with your own money or you have to raise it privately. So that's just something to think about when you're going to the international side. Another thing that you can do, there are some hotels internationally where they have condo hotels where people actually buy a condo within the hotel and the hotel rents out the condo. And so you all will split proceeds based off of that. So here are different ways to capital. You can use lines of credit, savings, retirement, the cash value in your life insurance, equity, crowdfunding to raise it. So just some options. I will say, before you're not a savvy investor, you haven't done this anymore, again, work with a CPA or a licensed financial advisor to help you navigate which is the best way and where you can get the maximum tax benefits. So we have some special guests tonight, Bruce and Kamiko Burdine. Both of them, they have invested internationally already. They've invested in Belize, and they're proud students of mine. They pretty much buying up Belize, and they're doing an excellent and phenomenal job of really just taking advantage of a market before it booms. So if you all are ready, I would love to bring the Burdines on stage, as we would love to hear their story and how they got into international investing, and then we'll save a couple minutes for Q&A as well.
Right. Okay. Can you guys see us and hear us?
Sorry, guys. Like, can you just in the chat let us know if you can hear us?
Oh yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Sorry, like we literally just got off our 12-hour shift at the hospital. So as you can see, this is the OR. So we wanted to join. Anyway, this is my wife Kamiko. I'm Bruce. We started investing back in around 2018, 2019 area. Around that time period, we invested in short-term rentals like Airbnbs. We have a small portfolio of those. We did that in Florida. And then basically playing a real life game of Monopoly, right? So we got about so many houses, and we're like, let's jump up into the hotel game. So we contacted Davon, and we became one of her pupils, and we started to learn about how to hotel invest. And from there,
we are limited partners in a hotel development in Nebraska. So we just did passive investing in that. We were like, we're just gonna get our feet wet and sort of learn about the hotel industry, because it's, you know, it's like a bigger short-term rental, but there are some other things that you got to worry about. And so we were just trying to learn the game there. And then my parents decided to retire right after COVID, and decided to retire in Panama. So Bruce was like, well, why don't we get a condo in Panama, so, like, you know, we can go down and visit, have a place to stay, don't have to stay in a hotel all the time, because we like to cook for ourselves a lot of the time when we vacation. So he started going down the YouTube rabbit hole and found Belize.
right. So I found this Central American country called Belize. It's literally the only English-speaking Central American country there is. Everything is based off of British common law. I was like, this can't be real. Is this real? We went down and visited. It is definitely real. It is literally the up and coming, like Tulum or Cancun or anything like that. Like, it's literally like I'm seeing hotels come in and buying beachfront properties, and they're developing all along the coast of Belize. And so before they bought up all the land, Kamiko and I bought some beachfront properties, and we are developing a hotel that we would like to see if you guys are interested in. Also, we are going to go live with our fund on 4/29, which is 5 days from now. And I don't know, can we share our screen and show them what we are doing in Belize?
Let's see.
Can you let us share our screen, Damon?
We have
Sure. I'm about to say I have the video.
Oh, well, you play the video.
Yeah, you play the video then.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me see. Can you all see the screen?
Mm-hmm.
Can you see it? Okay.
So in Belize, we are developing a 15-room boutique hotel, and we're calling it Gaia, which is the goddess of Mother Nature. It is literally a beachfront property with 2 swimming pools, and one of the swimming pools is on the second floor, which is an infinity pool. On the second floor, there are water suites, so each one of those will have its own swim out pool, as you can see there.
And then each floor is based off of one of the elements. So the ground floor is earth. So each room will have its own private garden and hammocks and just be surrounded by like lush plants. The second floor is water, which you already mentioned. The third floor is fire. So there's going to be like fire pit lounges open to the hotel guests right on that edge you can see above the water level. And then each fire suite will also have its own balcony. And then the top floor is air.
Right.
And so those are going to be the family suites. So they're going to be 3 2s and 2 2s up top. And then on the rooftop
is a high-end rooftop restaurant. It would be the only rooftop restaurant in all of Secret Beach in Belize. So it will be one of the high-end and destination places to go eat in Belize. With all that being said, do you guys have any questions or anything that you guys want to ask us about Belize, or shall we just keep going? Because I could talk all day about Belize.
Yes, can you talk about the area, the appeal, why Belize, why not Panama, for example?
Let's go. I'll go over some of the stuff. So Belize, like I said, is the only English-speaking Central American country. As far as capital gains tax, it has 0 capital gains tax. So any profits that we make in Belize is taxed $0, as long as you do not bring it back to the States. So if you can do a 1031 international exchange, you can take the money that you profit in Belize, and you can exchange it to Dominican Republic, Thailand. As long as it does not come back to the States, you can kind of roll over your taxes there. I'm not a tax advisor, but literally that's what our our guy said to us. What else? Property taxes are like
Super.
0.01% on the dollar, and it's on the raw land and it's not on the improved land. So even though we would build a multi-million-dollar hotel on this land, it's still based on the raw land. So we just got the tax bill today, and it's $275 for the year.
What else? Like on a more
How much?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
How much was the land?
So the land that we bought it for over, well, we have two lots combined, right? So one lot is about 500,000, the other lot's about 300,000. Right now, they are appraised at 1.2 million together. They're literally oceanfront.
But how much did it cost to buy?
800,000.
1,000?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. So, but right now they're appraised at 1.2. So the hotel itself, to build construction-wise from ground to finish without any of the interior, just construction, only walls
and tiles and plumbing and fixtures and stuff, is going to be about 5.5 million.
5.5 million.
Yeah. So one of the things that we love personally about Belize, and just to give you an idea, this is on one of the islands off of the coast of the mainland. So there's an island called Ambergris Caye. It's the largest island in Belize. And on the west side of the island is a place called Secret Beach. Beautiful, calm waters. The whole island is protected by a barrier reef. And it's like typical tropical kind of vibe. It's very like Caribbean island vibe on this island. So that's part of the reason why we love it. And everybody's super friendly. You drive around in golf carts. Like it's a great place to visit.
Yeah, it's a golf cart island. On the west side that we're building this hotel, there is no sargassum. If you've been to the Caribbean, you know about sargassum. That's the seaweed that grows and floats in the Caribbean Ocean. But on the west side, it doesn't do that. It's literally no waves on the west side. It's very calm, and you can walk out almost 1,000 feet. It's only about chest deep of water.
Yeah,
and it's crystal blue, right? Blue waters. What else do we like about it? We talked about the people being friendly. We talked about it being an island. We talked about it being the second largest, which is now the largest living reef, barrier reef in the world. It surpassed Australia.
Questions in the chat. So somebody asked, Secret Beach is still being developed. Have they developed the roads more? So in the past year or so, even since we've bought our lots, there's been so much development on the roads. It's still dirt roads, but eventually they've put it into the budget where it'll all be paved concrete.
So the Belizean government has this program where they're going to develop the north end of the island, and on their way is Secret Beach. So they're building out the roads and infrastructure that way.
Yeah. Yes, this is San Pedro, but it's like the opposite side of the island from San Pedro.
San Pedro is south of Ambergris Caye, so you got to drive up about what?
45 minutes?
45 minutes north and then go west
to get to Secret Beach. What were the KPIs that help you choose the location in Belize?
Can you elaborate on that question,
Miss Alicia?
Oh, they're probably asking what KPIs, key performance indicators, like any metrics that you use to determine like why would you choose Belize?
So a lot of the major hotel brands that have purchased and are developing there. So you've got Marriott, Hilton that are already there. Marriott's doing a second hotel. Six Senses is going there. Four Seasons is going there, all on this island. And just like so much of it is still raw land that purchasing it now and catching that upswing of development just made sense. Like the appreciation that we've seen, even in just like the raw land value, I think those are some of the good metrics that we looked at.
So those are good metrics. We also know that Ambergris Caye is the #1 tourist spot in all of Belize. So 1 out of every 5 tourists that come to Belize goes to Ambergris Caye. We also know that there's more direct flights that are coming. So airlines they don't just do routes just to do routes. They do routes for demand. And Southwest is doing more direct flights. Alaska is doing more direct flights. Delta is doing more direct flights to Belize. We just got a new direct flight from JetBlue, who's going straight from JFK straight to Belize. So when all those airlines are saying, hey, we have more demand than we have right now, so we're going to increase our number of flights, just lets me know that the demand of tourism in Belize is high.
Let's see. What's the quality of the infrastructure, Wi-Fi, telecommunications, etc.? So on the Secret Beach side, everything is off-grid currently. So you design and implement the infrastructure that you want.
So this will be an eco-friendly boutique hotel. So there will be solar panels, there'll be rain catchments, and there will be septic. But we are doing a hybrid system. So as soon as they bring electricity and water and everything, we can tie into those systems without having to revamp the entire system.
Telecommunications usually like Wi-Fi is done by like Wi-Fi. Yeah, they do have Wi-Fi. It's usually done by satellite. You know, it's pretty reliable down there, so I've heard. We didn't have any issues when we visited. We've never had issues with Wi-Fi. How many keys?
15 rooms.
15 rooms. 15 rooms.
There is a commercial spot at the bottom left. If you look at the pictures, there's 3 commercial spots that we're going to be renting out for stores and grocery stores and things like that.
Have you decided on operator yet?
So we will self-manage.
Self-manage in the
this,
beginning.
but we do have a Belizean management company that will come on with us.
Are you planning to move to Belize for the management, or how are you planning to manage this remotely? So the plan is to move. We actually bought a lot to build a personal home. That's how much we love it. So we're planning to move in about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Saw a lot of properties on San Pedro prior to the pandemic being built. Was San Pedro on your radar? How did you narrow down which island? So he kind of answered that. So the biggest thing that we looked at was where are all the tourists going? So you can go on the Belizean Tourism Board website, and they publicly announce like all of the statistics of where people are coming in, where they say they're staying, and like all that kind of stuff. So a good portion of tourists are coming by cruises into Belize City, but all of the overnight stays, the people who are coming for like 4 or 5 weeks at a time, a good like 60 to 70% of them are going to Ambergris Caye. A lot of them are going to Caye Caulker, and then the second and third ones are going to be like Placencia, which is on the mainland, and into the Cayo district, which is where all the ruins and mountain stuff is. But most people are going for a beach vacation, so that's why we picked San Pedro.
Development time frame. We are probably going to close out the fund in the fall, and we break ground the beginning of 2025. Takes 2 years to build the entire project, so grand opening 27.
How do we choose that market in Belize? So that was just a deep dive research that he did. Like we were looking at Panama, and he was like, "Hey, let's look at Belize," and then he just rabbit hole.
I mean, I looked at Costa Rica. I looked at Mexico. I looked at the ownership laws, and I didn't like the ownership laws of those countries. I know Belize, when you buy property or you own property in Belize, you own it outright, just like you do in America. You could pass those down generations to generations to generations. You don't have to have a leasehold up to 99 years and then basically give the property back to the government. You actually own this forever. So those are some of the reasons why we chose Belize. These are great questions, by the way, guys. Yeah. What kind of economy, fuels, tourism? Yeah. Tourism is the number one.
See, Renee, you got them. Tourism and agriculture are the biggest things in Belize. Not sure how to find funding for your international project. Do you use private financing or others? So at least for the land buys, there's a good chunk of the lots we were able to do under creative financing with the sellers, which is one of the perks of investing in Belize. And in a lot of places, we didn't have to go through banks. We didn't have to
no credit checks,
checks, none of that. It was like they were like, "Wire us your money, show us you have it." And
then we went through a title company, did the whole title search. Everything came out proper. Went through our lawyers. By the way, make sure you go through your lawyers when you buy international. Lawyers approved the purchase, and we purchased it using owner financing.
Why so few rooms? So the lots are kind of the 2 lots that we bought. They're 66 by what's the size? the size of the lots.
118 by 66.
118 by 66. So when we went to the architect, we were like, let's see what we can fit on there without it feeling cramped and crowded. So like Devon said, we wanted to go in with a mindset of like, what would we enjoy going to stay at? And we don't usually love like the giant complexes and when it feels like really cramped and there's people everywhere. So that's why we chose to go with a smaller room count, just to give it a more luxurious and
boutique feel. We
boutique
wanted
feel,
to feel like very personal. We wanted, every employee to know your name when you walk into this hotel. We want you to come back year after year on this hotel.
So you're sure that it's going to be about 2 years for development. You plan on outsourcing the restaurant to a third party? You're running it yourself? We are still deciding that. That could go either way.
We have plans for both. We have plans to interview some chefs and see if we want to rent it out third party, but we also have a plan to run it ourselves. We've done that before. So 50-50 on that one.
Yeah. What's your background in real estate experience? So background wise, we are both in the medical field. We're both anesthetists. We're at the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And real estate, he kind of spoke on this earlier.
Yeah. So we have we specialize in short-term rentals, and we have a small portfolio of short-term rentals throughout the state of Florida. We also own, so we're LPs in one hotel in Nebraska.
You're proud. Thank you. I'm proud of us too. This has been like quite a long journey, and sometimes it kind of feels like can't believe that we're actually doing this and it's all kind of coming to fruition. But I'm super excited about all the projects that we have going.
As of right now, we have decided not to fly a flag as of yet. We have talked to Davon about this though, so it's not off the board. But right now, the name of the hotel is Gaia, which is the goddess of Mother Nature.
Yeah. Distance from the airport, it's about 45 minutes from the airport by golf cart, not by car. A golf carts only go about like
15 miles per hour.
Like 15 to 20 miles per hour. And to give you an idea, when you go to Belize, you fly into the mainland, and then you take a 15-minute puddle jumper to get to any of the islands. And from that regional airport, it's about a 45-minute golf ride or about a 10-minute boat ride, which is how we plan to bring the guests in, is by boat.
Right. So how do you choose your builder? So we worked with our architect, and she has worked with several builders. We did interviews with those builders. We picked one builder who we felt had the quality and the speed that we needed. And we looked at his previous works, and they were phenomenal. And in fact, if you get on Google, you can see some of his projects like Royal Kahal. He also did, I'm trying to think of the other one right off the top of my head, but if you guys want, I can send you a couple of the listing of the hotels that he's already built. So he's familiar with building hotels.
Yeah. Will you outsource marketing or keep it in-house? We're probably going to keep marketing in-house. We have connections with
well, in-house as far as us in Belizean marketing. Is that what you guys are asking?
Akita.
Okay. Anyway, we do have like a marketing company that we've been talking to that's local in Belize. We do not have a national marketing company, so that's why we still believe that it's in-house.
Integrity of the contractors who build the property in the Caribbean, they have their own way of doing things. Yes, that is true. Anytime that you're going to go overseas, you're going to have to adjust to the culture. They're in Belize, you can't really go in with like a hard fist with like how Americans are and be like, why is this not getting done? You need like I'm not gonna pay you. Like that's not how it is in Belize. You gotta grease some palms. You gotta play nice and kind of like maneuver people to get what you want. But
what are we asking? We're asking the integrity of the contractor.
Like we wouldn't go with a contractor that
we didn't trust.
Yeah, that didn't have a track record.
Yeah, they've built several hotels on the island, and we visited those hotels. The quality is impeccable.
Yeah.
Would this be an equity investment or a passive investment with dividends? you will be investing into it's basically like a syndication. You'd be investing into the fund, and the fund will give out passive investments dividends.
Yeah.
But technically, you own equity in the LLC, which you own shares in the company.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it's both.
Yeah, it'll be passive.
Be passive, but you still own equity in the LLC.
Yeah, it'll be a limited partnership.
Exactly.
Name of the architect. I have to look it up.
Inca.
Inca.
ANCA.
Okay. All right, we're gonna take one more question.
Let me scroll down. Let's see. Yes, would you hire a company or do it yourself? Okay. Have you done a construction or development project before on raw land?
Yes.
Yes.
We've both.
All right, last one. Isaac snuck in another one. So one more question.
Which one is it?
It says what type of, that's what I'm saying. If you, it says what type of what is the projected return on the investment?
Oh,
Well, for right now, our projected return on investment is 18 to 22%. Very
That's
high.
pretty good.
Very high.
Yeah. All right. So we got some folks asking about the projects. I'm gonna jump right into it. Okay, let me share my screen. So make sure y'all stay connected. I'll send a follow-up email. I'll make sure I put Bruce and Kamiko's information. And you also get a copy of the recording as well. So we already did question and answers. Thank y'all again for tuning in. So y'all been asking questions about Belize. So we are actually going to Belize in June to see this actual property. So for the folks who want to invest, I recommend for any investment that you do, you definitely want to see it. You want to see the property, you want to get a chance to meet the Burdines. So we are going to Belize June 26th through June 30th. We have a discounted rate at the Curio in the Curio in Belize. And we also have, if you plan to fly with Delta, we have a special rate with Delta as well. So for the folks who had questions about, I will go ahead and put it in the chat, and feel free to ask any questions about the deal, about Belize. If you do plan to go, I'll put the link in the chat right now. Okay. It says we'll be joining. Okay, Isaac, I say we'll be joining. All right. And for the folks that signed up, you will get a special discount code. What is the buy-in for? Okay. So it said, what's the buy-in, Bruce?
oh,
$50,000 minimum.
Okay. So I put okay, let me put the link in the chat so that way you all can look at it. And I also put it in the email as well.
Yvonne, do they want the website for the
fund?
Yeah, put it in the chat.
Okay, I'll put it in the chat for you. So this
The
website, you guys
website
can
for
see
what?
everything.
Oh, okay. Put the website about the project. Okay, so I put the sign up so you can actually go to Belize. So for you to so what we're doing on the 26th, we're going to have a welcome reception. On the 27th, that's when we're actually going to see the property with Bruce and Kamiko. We're going to meet with some real estate brokers as well. And we'll have the Belizean Tourism Board. We'll also, and then the next day, which is the 28th, we're going to do a boat ride. And then on Saturday, it'll be a free day. So just giving you a heads up, like Bruce and Kamiko said, we will be riding on golf course. So yes. We got a question to say, is this for accredited or non-accredited investors?
Accredited. Accredited investors for this one, because we're going to be advertising this fund, and it's a very large raise. So
yes, a 506C.
506C.
It's accredited.
Yeah.
Avon, your guys are smart, man. They're asking some great questions here.
Yeah.
And feel free to share it around if there's somebody who couldn't make it, and you know you want to share the information.
She did.
Yes, she is a wealth of knowledge. Can you slide in some non-accredited?
There is a way that we're thinking about doing this too. So yes, just come to
Okay. Oh, see, I be looking out for folks. That question came from me. I was looking out for the folks that may not be accredited just yet.
Yes. We're trying to look at
So for those who
some non-accredited.
So for those who don't know what the accredited investor is someone who has an income of 200,000 or more, or they have a net worth of $1 million or more, excluding their primary residence. That's not something we created. That's something the SEC created. I don't know why they came up with that number. I don't know why they came up with that net worth, but they came up with that to basically state that certain people can't invest. So we would love to have you in Belize June 26th through the 30th. Like I said, boat ride. We got some folks that's signed up already. I took a trip in Turks and Caicos, something similar like this. Pretty much a lot of folks that went to Turks, they coming back to Belize. We just had so much fun. It's just a good time to connect with people, to meet the Burdines, Bruce and Kamiko, they're fun. And guess what? You can bring your family, right? I'm bringing my baby. Some folks are bringing their kids and their spouses. If you need to share rooms, you can. So don't think, oh my gosh, it's just me. No, you can bring the family, you can bring the kids. Some folks don't want to bring the kids, and I understand that too. So it is definitely but you will need passports. I will say that you will need passports, even though they speak English. You will need passports. I know we had some folks that was like,
it has to be valid at least 6 months past your last day.
Yeah.
Yours is expiring in July. Go get it renewed.
Oh, I had to think about it. Well, mine is okay. I'm good. I had to think about that just that quick, and then I gotta make sure. I gotta look at Jameer to make sure he good. I think so, but anyway. So yeah. So any questions about Belize or the deal while you have us? Oh, we got folks bringing Daisy signed up. She gonna be there.
Yeah.
Tierney, I see your question. So you said 50K minutes for what percentage and what's the total amount being raised? So the construction raise is about 5.5 million, and then soft costs we're looking somewhere between 2 to 3 million. So some of that is going to come directly from us, and some of that will be raised, and then the final percentage, once everything is put together, that'll be the equity percentage.
The PPM and the all this information is on that website.
Yeah, gotta hop off. Okay, looking for another thing is as far as the hotel, you have to book, but we just extended it in May, so we'll send some information about that as well. Why can I not think of the hotel that we're staying at? I just know I just keep calling it Mahogany Bay.
Mahogany Bay. Hilton at Mahogany
Bay.
Yeah.
So we're staying at the beautiful Mahogany Bay. So for my Hilton people who love Hilton, you can rack up your Hilton points, even use your Hilton points there, okay?
Yes.
So yes, it's going to be a great opportunity. Okay, Aisha said she'll be there. I cannot wait to see you all. We're going to be together for about 4 days. We're going to have a farewell brunch on that Sunday. So we got another question. It says, it's the only hotel investment you're looking into for Belize. That's for you all.
Oh.
As of right now, yes.
As of right now.
We're focusing all of our attention on this hotel.
Yeah. And that's what you want. That's actually a really good answer, because you want, when people were, in my opinion, they should focus on one thing at a time. And then it says, how do we get from the airport Belize to Americans? Okay, so the hotel will set that up where once you book your reservation, you'll talk to them about it. Oh, that was a question for me. Oh, sorry, my bad. It says it's the only question. Yeah, that is for me. I'm not even I do an investment trip every year. Like I said, the last time was Turks, this year's Belize. And there's a that happened to be a hotel opportunity in Belize. So yeah, this is I don't know any other hotel investment opportunities. We'll also have a broker there as well. So if you decide to set up your own Airbnb, if you decide to buy some land, like these people are going to be here. Bruce and Kamiko, they already vetted them. I already know Bruce asked 51 million questions for you in advance to them. So they've already been vetted. I can tell you that right now.
We can tell you what title companies to go through, the realtors that we use. Like
we've already done all the hard groundwork for you guys.
So we who's trustworthy, who's not down there.
Isn't it a plane? Won't we have to take like a seaplane or a boat to get from the airport to Amber?
It's a plane. So it's a 15-minute like puddle jumper. They seat 15 people. It's very quick, smooth ride. We've done it like 40 times now.
Yeah. Tropic Air and Maya Air are the two airlines.
Tropic Air and Maya Air. Those are the two airlines. It's you're gonna think it's scary, but it's not.
I've done that before.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, when I flew to the wrong country. I think I told you that story.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I'm good on Belize. I won't book the wrong country. That's another time. I'll say that story, you guys. I'll tell you about it when we in Belize. Because the people who are coming won't let me forget. They still talking about it. So yeah. So the folks who come into Belize, that's who will hear the story. Says Chris said Mahogany Bay is a great hotel. Love it. Yeah.
Really nice.
So again, super excited that you all are. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that this was very informative for you. I hope to see you in Belize. Like I said, you'll get a recording as well as the link as a way to get in contact with the Burdines and information to go to Belize. And I also drop the discount code in there as well, so that way you can join in as a gift from me to you all for staying with me the entire time. So I appreciate you all. I don't know, Bruce and Kamiko, if y'all wanted to add anything, saying any final last words.
Just come join us. Come see what all this beautiful country is all about.
You gotta see it for yourself. Trust me, once you get there, you're gonna love it. You're gonna understand why we're so excited about Belize.
Yeah.
All right. I love it. I love it. Yeah, we got some great things planned for you. And if you haven't had the Vaughn Group experience, get ready, because we are going to have some fun, especially on that boat. Oh, also the registration includes breakfast and lunch. At dinner, you can do your own thing. So you can, we're going to the beach.
Recommendations of places to eat. Fantastic restaurants in San Pedro. So
yeah, they're foodies. So they're actually the ones that been helping planning. Yeah, they love food. So they've been helping us plan it out. So anyway, so I appreciate you all. I'm gonna let Bruce and Kamiko get back to work. So you let this right here. If I don't know what else is dedication, this is dedication right here. Because they easily could have been like, no, Devon, we can't do it because we at work. So they let you know up front with they scrubs on. Look, we are about this life. Okay, we are dedicated. Okay, this is dedication and hard work at its best. So I appreciate you all, and you all have a great night.
All right, see you guys.
bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.